Now on KCRA 3.
State warning, social distance while you're outside, where people were following the rules today and where we saw some violations of the stay-at-home order. Plus, gun sales on the rise, why people in Placer County are packing during the pandemic. And food trucks now considered essential in Sacramento County. How a change in the health order is helping entrepreneurs get back on their feet.
Where the news comes first. This is KCRA 3 News at 11.
We begin tonight with the latest number of coronavirus cases and deaths in California. These numbers are from Johns Hopkins University. More than 52,000 people have tested positive and more than 2,100 people have died. This graph shows the number of new cases reported to the state health department every day. This is one of the factors Governor Newsom is taking into account as he decides when the state will reopen. The number of new cases stayed about the same over the past 2 days. And keep in mind, the availability of testing plays a big part in these numbers. The governor's office reminding people on Twitter today, coronavirus symptoms don't show up for 14 days and you can get it outdoors. We spotted a lot of people in state and city parks enjoying the sunny weather this afternoon. This is what it looked like at the state capitol at around 4 o'clock. California State Parks officials are reminding people if the state park in your area is open, you cannot gather, have a picnic, or have a party. Here's what it looked like at the state capitol yesterday afternoon. Live Copter 3 was overhead as 32 people were arrested at a reopened California rally. Some protesters followed social distancing guidelines by covering their cars with signs and driving around the Capitol. Hundreds of others gathered on Capitol grounds and were not social distancing at all. In Orange County, Governor Newsom's order to close all beaches appears to be working. At Huntington Beach, police helicopters flew overhead searching for violators, while officers on foot, on motorcycles, and in SUVs patrolled around the access points. Officers are starting with warnings, then moving to citations and arrests if necessary. We saw people walking, cycling, and surfing, but no groups gathering on the sand.
This is a new situation for all of us. So we're a surf city, and it is part of our culture here in Huntington Beach that people come out to the beach not only to surf, but to swim, take part in water sports, be on the boardwalk, biking, walking, running, all of that. So it is difficult for us as officers, residents, all of us, and we are asking that people be patient with us.
The crowds this afternoon looked much different than what we saw earlier this week. This is what it looked like at Huntington Beach on Thursday before the beach shut down. And you can see groups sitting down on towels and gathering there on the sand. Governor Newsom says that the state is days, not weeks, from rolling back some restrictions. And while California was relatively quiet today, across the country we saw many protests against stay-at-home orders. Oregon State Capitol was packed with hundreds of people. In Minnesota, drivers rolled around the Capitol in protest. And in Maine and Illinois, people gathered outside holding signs. Meanwhile, across the country, there are more than 1,100,000 confirmed cases tonight and more than 66,000 deaths. Despite the growing numbers and continued fear of the virus spreading, Americans across the country are eager to get back to a normal life and want the restrictions lifted. NBC's Aaron McLaughlin gives us a closer look at the tension between state leaders and residents.